Good evening, everybody. It is the 28th of March, 2026. It's Saturday and it's 5:40 in the evening, which means it's probably going to take a long time to upload this video. Probably like 9 hours normally does. I'm in Belarus, in case a lot of you don't know. And it's probably much worse in Russia. I think you don't even get this service in Russia, but they slow things down here. It's part of some disagreement, I think, with Russia and Google or whatever. Not to mention that they have to have certain, I guess, some sort of tactical jamming up for, Ukrainian drones. So we have to protect ourselves from Ukrainian drones here. So that's means that you can't upload that quickly onto Google. At least we can upload here on Google. I don't think you can do it at all in Russia. I think a lot of things are gone in Russia, like not even WhatsApp and things like that. But it's different things like that. So before I start, I'll say something else. I want to thank somebody, whoever posted my video from a few days ago. It's like a 6 minute and something video. And it's like 4,000 views. It's like, wow, that's really viral for me. And I think it's somewhere in the Middle East. And I got some subscribers from that as well as that. But I'm sure a lot of people probably didn't know English, so they didn't subscribe, but those that maybe do, they subscribe to that. I thank all of you as well. Certainly I do. So that's a big thank you. And another message I want to put out is to Iran and the entire resistance. And I want to thank you for sticking up for humanity against evil. Absolutely fantastic. I cannot believe you. Ansar Allah, you've decided to go in as well. So Hezbollah, Ansar Allah, Iran, humanity owes a debt to you because you are sticking up for humanity against the pedophiles and the evil, greedy multi-billionaires and things. Thank you very much. I mean that from the heart, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. And a lot of you maybe that don't like the United States, there's at least half of the people in the United States are at least in some way, shape, or form also on your side. Like I said, in some way, shape, or form, maybe not as much as I am, but a lot of them maybe are. They don't really want to see the United States win. Nobody wants to see anybody die, but Iran is actually trying not to make as many people die as possible. And you see Israel and elements within the United States, they're trying to, they're genocidal. Let's just say that. So as far as that's concerned, now let's start on with a little bit of like the news. So Trump continues to lie. Is that a big surprise? And it's like, a lot of us that maybe supported Trump, I was in support of Trump. He had a much different message than what is going on now. And his first presidency was not that bad. I think one thing, when he bombed Syria at that time, he was bombing an open field, and of course I didn't support him killing Soleimani and like 16 other people. I think a lot of people didn't really like that at all. Yeah, and then celebrating and going to Israel and celebrating with all those people. He's celebrating now. He's celebrating anytime he kills. He seems to hate Iranians. I don't think he likes Muslims at all. Any Muslims, really. And it's not that all Iranians are Muslims. There's Christian and Jew and all that as well. But he doesn't seem to like Iranian people, maybe. I don't know. It's like Israel, and he fits perfect to Israel. It's a form of racism. There's no doubt about it. So anyway, even with all of this, Iran is entertaining everybody with this. I think it's a Lego thing. It's these animations. And it's actually working really well. A lot of people are watching this and getting enthused from that, and it's a little bit more towards the truth, at least a little more, much more, I guess, than Donald Trump's words. So Donald Trump saying that Iran is begging for a ceasefire, and it's like, how come nobody sees that? Especially Iran. Everybody in Iran is asking, did you say that? I didn't say it. Nobody is. I don't know. And he says he's supposed to be bargaining with the Iranians or something like that. I don't know. Is that going on yet in Islamabad and Pakistan? I don't think so. At least Iran is going to be a no-show. That's what I said. I think in one video I would be a no-show. I would say, yeah, we'll be there, and just not show up. Anyway, But yeah, Trump is going with that. You know that old saying? He's going with that. It's an old saying, and at least in the United States, maybe it's everywhere in the world. I'm sure everybody's got their own version. It's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And so I don't see why anybody would believe Donald Trump anymore. I mean, unless you're a fool, you've got to be a fool. He's got some kind of lie. He's got tricks. He's tricked Iran every single time. He tricks a lot of people. That's what he was doing in business. I guess when you're really powerful, maybe he won't trick you because maybe you can harm him. He's a bully. I don't know. Sad to say, but that's a nice word. That's a nice word for calling somebody a bully that murders people and children as well. And everybody knows that they killed those children on purpose in Iran. Oh, some kind of a mistake. That was no mistake. I tell you that is the worst crime. And then they can say, oh, whatever. It's just like Israel. How many tens of thousands of children on record did they kill in Gaza? Again, thank you, Iran. You're sticking up for this. Ansar Allah, you people in Yemen, those that are doing that. The resistance, Hezbollah. Hezbollah, I think you're doing a great job, apparently. I thought Hezbollah was kind of knocked out and very, very weak. And obviously Israel did too, so that's why they thought they could attack. And Hezbollah has been holding their own big time. So that is just some great news. And a lot of us are with you. A lot of us are with you people. So, and be careful, Yemen, as well. So, okay. Iran came up with a surprise by saying they just destroyed a Ukrainian anti-drone systems depot. I guess that was today. And that was not that long ago, apparently. Maybe some hours ago. By the time this uploads, it's going to be pretty old news. But maybe it's 4 or 5 hours maybe from before this video, before I'm making this right now. And as you know, Zelensky is there, and he was in Saudi Arabia, and I guess they took the bait. And obviously it looks like Dubai did as well. So Zelensky's just going over there, like Donald Trump says, he's the greatest salesman in the world. So he's over there and trying to say that he can stop the drones. And well, how come it doesn't work in Ukraine if he's so good? But anyway, I wouldn't be fooled. I'll tell you what, the best way is to reach some kind of agreement with Iran, and Iran will not humiliate you. Iran has been reaching out to you and said they respect you. Iran has got missiles, and they didn't necessarily want to be using them on any of their brothers in the region, but you're hosting American bases that are being used to attack their country. And they're trying not even to hit the regular people in the Emirates or Kuwait or any of those countries. But if I were you, I'd make some kind of a deal. And that's actually not much of a deal. You just say to the United States, well, it's unsafe to have you here. I don't know what the deal is, what deal they made with the United States. Talk to Iran and see what you can get, see what you can come up with. So apparently also with this strike on this depot in Dubai, it's very possible, I'll only just say possible, that they eliminated 20 Ukrainian troops as well. At least there's no record of what happened to these 20 troops, at least till now. So they were probably at that depot. Probably some Nazis, I don't know. Iran also attacked a U.S. base, the Sultan Air Base, I guess, in Saudi Arabia, and caused some damage. And as usual, no Americans are dead. They just had some injuries of U.S. troops. You don't know what is true. I don't know. I'll tell you what, it works both ways for Iran. It shows, they're humanitarian people. They probably told them ahead of time they're going to be striking, so get the people out of there. Anybody that was injured, who knows? Maybe they were the next building or something. And or if they did, then it shows that Iran has teeth if they did actually cause casualties. So yes, indeed. So Iran, let's see what else has happened here. We've got Israel. Israel has attacked Iran's Bushehr nuclear plant. I guess this is the third time it's been attacked. The U.S. has attacked it. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm sure Iran was expecting something like that could possibly happen. It's kind of a fool's thing to be doing because of radiation from such a attack if it doesn't go right. Just like Ukraine bombing the nuclear power plants for Russia. I don't know. It's birds of a feather, You got Israel, United States, Ukraine. Apparently Uganda wants to be on my team. Anyway, Uganda from Africa? That is a shock. Anyway. And Israel also bombed the largest steel factories in Iran, some of them. I don't know how badly, if they're crippled or not. And of course, Iran is going to attack, and they're going to attack big time for that. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Why don't they just leave that stuff alone and go after military targets? But I don't know. It's kind of like desperation. It smells like that to me. No, I didn't. Oh no, my pants. No, it's not the cats either. But it's desperation. They also attacked a lot of infrastructure. Israel said they attacked those things in coordination with the United States. So much for Donald Trump, his 5-day, his 10-day postponement of hitting energy places. Oh, but I didn't say that Israel can't do it. So that's probably what that's all about. Yeah. Okay. And Trump is continuing, of course, to go after the Strait of Hormuz. I guess, even though we don't use it at all. And I saw something with Marco Rubio saying, telling the Europeans and everybody else, you guys better go and do something and we'll help you. That's how desperate they are, is to come up with something like that. We don't really need it. Oh, you don't really need it, do you? I think Donald Trump has a lot of holdings in the Emirates. I think he's got maybe even hotels and things there. So, oh, we don't need it. I don't know. Obviously they do. The Strait of Trump. He's trying to call it the Strait of Trump. I don't know. This guy's nothing but a clown sometimes. Yeah, and I guess Iran is. I think they're charging a toll now for ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz, and that will be the fees will be levied in Chinese currency, and the U.S. probably doesn't like that either. So it's like people have to have some Chinese currency when they're going to be going through there. A dollar won't do any good, so you got to have some Chinese currency. And I guess China is probably saying, well, we're pretty impressed with that. Thank you very much. So, And some people, that's just kind of a reminder, making you think, well, maybe people don't need dollars anymore. And I guess it's gone down. The usage of U.S. dollars has gone down quite a bit in the past, 20 years, since 2000. I guess it's just dropping and dropping and dropping all the time. Donald Trump, that's one reason why he wants to destroy the BRICS. And they're not even trying to come up with an alternative currency. Although if there was one, it might turn out to be the Chinese yen. But whatever is going on, I think the main people that are destroying the US dollar are the US government. Hey, what a surprise. By weaponizing their own currency. And people are starting to say, well, we don't want that, so we're going to get away from that. Everybody will try to find something else. Well, it's pretty obvious. I mean, you would think that's not a genius. It doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Okay. But anyhow, I know this is a short video. And I started, working at a bakery. And it's pretty tough. It's pretty tough, especially when you don't speak Russian. One guy speaks English, but he's busy, nonstop. It's pretty tough. You're on your feet. You don't get to sit down at all. Not even a lunch break. I didn't see anybody taking any lunch break for the most part. There's another guy that kind of works there. He's not even really a baker. And I think he went out for a smoke break or something. I don't really know. But yeah, and they're having to write down everything, exactly how many, lots of piroshki, all different types of bread, and every day it's some different types of bread. So it's I don't know. I feel like a nitwit, I guess I would say. And so anyways, and I guess he's a meister. He is really, really, really fast. So, and it's I tell you what, and you're going bam, 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 nonstop making stuff. I can't even believe it. You can't really even talk or nothing because you're just going, and you're on your feet. I can't believe it for the entire time. And they're staying late. I think he got there like at 5:30 in the morning. 5 or 5:30 is when he gets there, and maybe the other guy as well. And I left today at 1:30, and they're going to be there at least another hour. So that's a lot. Anyway, that's all I have for today, everybody. And thanks for joining me. And again, I thank those people, whoever posted my video somewhere, because I'm sure it wasn't YouTube. I thank you. And again, best wishes to the resistance. And I hope you're successful. Okay, till next time, everybody. Bye-bye.